It's been a week since the talks between China and the United States in Tianjin, and now it's time to review what really happened in Tianjin. Many of you may not know what the name of Tianjin stands for. But for Chinese, when we call Tianjin, we often add a word that translates into English as guardian, so the purpose of Tianjin was to protect Beijing. And 100 years ago, sometimes diplomats need to wait in there when they came to see the emperor. In spite of the meeting was held in Tianjin due to the COVID-19, but there are other meanings mixed in. The content of the meeting was actually quite conventional, but the results were very interesting. First of all, many people have not heard of the two checklists for error correction from the Western mainstream media, and this should be the first time after the Cold War that a major power dares to give the United States a negotiating offer. That means, I'm waiting for you to finish my request, then we can discuss other things. Indeed, this is also the toughest China has ever been when it comes to bearing sanctions from the West. In fact, these lists are very simple. They are mostly from the public actions related to China in the Trump administration, and that China wants to withdraw all of them unconditionally. This includes urging the U.S. side to unconditionally withdraw visa restrictions on Chinese Communist Party members and their families, withdraw sanctions on Chinese leaders, officials, lift visa restrictions on Chinese students, stop suppressing Chinese enterprises, harassing Chinese students, suppressing Confucius institutes, withdraw the registration of Chinese media as foreign agents, and etc. Furthermore, China has asked the U.S. government to resolve the issue as soon as possible and to protect the legitimate rights, interests of Chinese citizens and institutions in the United States. I bet you don't know that the Chinese side is represented by Chia Feng, who is the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs. Now, from the public information, we can basically sort out the main contents expressed by Sherman, thus we can learn that. Firstly, Sherman definitely expressed goodwill, such as the Biden administration only defining China as a competitor, and combined with Blinken's previous statement that we will compete, collaborate, and confront as needed. Xi made it very clear that we do not accept these statements, and that the main reason for the deterioration of U.S.-China relations is the U.S. The Biden administration does not want cooperation and competition, but only confrontation. Secondly, Sherman definitely said rule-based order, which is also Blinken's favorite part. Xi said, "We do not recognize the so-called rule-based order. Even if it exists, it should not be customized by a few countries, but should be a fair order based on the United Nations." Thirdly, Sherman talked about Hong Kong, Xinjiang, Tibet, Taiwan, and asked China to respect human rights. Xi also fired back directly, "Why should human rights be based on your definition? Chinese people have escaped poverty and developed their economy, and that is the greatest human right." Finally, this is Sherman's highlight. She wants cooperation, which should include climate change issues, tariffs, and the meeting between President Xi and Biden at the G20 summit in October. Xi also said that we need to cooperate, but we have to cooperate as a global community of shared future, and China needs to see the sincerity of the United States. All in all, the meeting was not unexpected. As an expert in U.S. diplomacy, Sherman, who often handles tasks that are difficult for others to accomplish. On this visit, she expressed the hope that China can help the United States when it needs help. Xi also said that the problem is caused by you, and you cannot always ask me first. From this result, it is difficult to see the leaders of both sides to meet in a short time, but they should already know each other's red lines. However, it is very likely China and the United States will clash again in the areas of IT software and finance in August, which is the subject of my next episode.